So I'd say a recent setback that I've had was when I tried to apply to medical school last year and was actually faced with 8 rejections. I know you're wondering, 8, I tried to apply through clearing. I don't know why, but I did, and I think I was very, very miserable and heartbroken after that point, because I had sort of worked really, really hard to do well in my UCAT, to do my personal statement, get enough experience, and I think in that point it was really very much just trying to overcome the fear of reapplying, and I used that experience to instead reflect on my mistakes, realize my own capabilities, and gain more experience. I first started off with learning more about the role and exposing myself to the role by shadowing more doctors, where I just learned I started to hone in on the real important necessary skills, which I then went to go and get a job as a clinical support worker to start developing those skills such as communication and empathy. I then wanted to ask my peers who were actually medical applicants and got in that year, where I could have, messed up with my application, and they said that it did seem it was a bit rushed. And I realised that it was because I was revising for it was a bit rushed. And this time around I decided to take the UCAT early, because once I got feedback from the universities, they did say that it was because of my low UCAT score. So I started early. When I was revising for the UCAT, I worked on my weaknesses, and in turn I scored really highly, actually in the top 10%. And for the rest of my application, I decided to reflect on my experiences in my personal statement. I did it again. I made sure that other people could proofread it, and I made sure that I applied to universities that I had a good chance in applying to, and I fit the requirements for. And I submitted my application early. So I think there are many, many setbacks in medicine, and it's learning how to cope with the setback, and it's learning how to move forward and reflecting on that experience. I remember I was shadowing a urologist. And she had a phone call from a neonatist who was trying to fix a prolapsed stoma in a baby, and the urologist was able to help. And I think through reaching out for help during a setback, you tend to learn, teamwork comes in, you get to reflect, and you get to see how to improve on your skills as well. So just to summarize, this is just a time that I've experienced setback. I think I've learned a lot from, having to reapply and dealing with rejection, and knowing that I can reflect from my mistakes, and I can reach out for help when necessary. And I think it's an important trait for doctors to have, in particular in medicine, so that they can provide high quality care for patients. Done.